Most people think that saving money is the key to getting rich. They clutch every dollar tightly, fearing that if they let go, it will disappear forever. They are taught to live below their means, to stash away savings in a bank account, and to never take risks. But here's the truth. This mindset is what keeps them trapped. It's a lie, a carefully orchestrated deception sold to you by the very system that profits from your fear. The truth is far darker than you can imagine. Money doesn't multiply when it's hoarded. It grows when it moves. The rich don't cling to their money, they deploy it. Every dollar they spend is a soldier sent out to conquer more. The poor, on the other hand, lock their money in cages, thinking they're protecting it, but in reality, they're letting it rot. The fear of loss has been embedded in you since childhood. Save your money. Don't take risks. Play it safe. That fear of losing it all is the reason most people never break free from financial mediocrity. You were trained to fear loss, to play it safe, to think that financial stability is about saving every penny and never straying from the path. But the truth is, that kind of thinking only leads to stagnation. The rich are not afraid of loss. They use it. Loss is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, to build something greater. The master knows that the way to true power is not through clinging to comfort, but by taking calculated risks that will yield long-term control. Every empire, every fortune, every dynasty was built by someone who spent when everyone else saved. Think about the great figures in history. The people who conquered empires, created businesses that outlasted them, or built wealth that continues to influence generations. They did not do so by keeping every penny locked away. They took risks, invested in opportunities, and understood that the way to build true wealth was through motion, not stasis. Machiavelli understood this concept centuries ago. He observed that power is always in the hands of those who dare to risk their resources, who are willing to spend when everyone else is saving. The rich don't just spend money, they deploy it. They invest it in businesses, networks, relationships, and ventures that give them power, influence, and growth. The poor cling to their money, believing that safety lies in keeping it untouched. But what they don't understand is that money in motion is what creates more money. Ask yourself, why do billionaires continue to invest millions into businesses, new ventures, influence campaigns, and networks, even though they could easily live comfortably with what they already have? The answer is simple. They understand that stagnation is decay. If your money isn't working for you, then you are slowly dying financially. The rich don't just want to maintain their wealth, they want to grow it. They understand that if they don't keep their money moving, they'll lose it. They know that wealth only grows when it's in motion. The illusion of safety is the most dangerous trap. You've been taught to save your money for a rainy day, but inflation silently eats away at your savings. Every dollar you hold today is worth less tomorrow. The fear of losing money freezes your progress, and while you wait for the perfect time to act, someone else is using their money to buy the opportunities you're too afraid to pursue. They're investing in assets, in businesses, in experiences that will pay off tenfold in the future, while you're sitting on the sidelines. Let me share a secret with you that the wealthy will never teach you. Money hates stillness. It decays in silence. It grows only when it circulates through opportunity, risk, and movement. The rich don't fear spending because they know that every dollar spent is an investment in their power, their position, and their future. They understand that when you spend strategically, you're buying access to opportunities that multiply your wealth. Meanwhile, the poor see spending as a loss. The rich see it as leverage. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how the average person celebrates saving a few dollars, while the rich spend thousands to attend private dinners, mastermind sessions, and exclusive events? The difference isn't just in the amount of money they have, it's in their mindset. The poor protect their money, believing that by holding on to it, they are securing their future. The rich, however, protect their position. They understand that once you lose your position, your money won't save you. You can always make more money, but you cannot make more time, more influence, or more access to powerful networks. The rich understand this. They spend money to put themselves in the right rooms with the right people at the right time. They spend money to buy relationships, to buy influence, and to buy power. Because in the end, Your position is far more valuable than the amount of money you have. Let's test your mindset. Imagine you have $1,000. Would you spend it on something that will give you short-term comfort, like new clothes or an upgraded phone? Or would you invest it into a skill, a course, or an experience that could make you $10,000 later? Most people would choose comfort. They would buy things that make them feel good in the moment. But this is why they stay trapped. They trade power for pleasure. They buy to impress people who don't care about them, rather than investing in something that will provide long-term value. Here's the brutal truth. Your financial future is not determined by how much you earn, but by what you do with what you earn. The rich understand this like it's law. Money is a tool, not a trophy. The moment you start treating money as something to protect, you've already lost the game. The game of wealth rewards aggression, not caution. The world doesn't pay you for saving. It pays you for taking calculated risks. You can't build an empire from a savings account. You build it with decisions that scare you. But here's where most people go wrong. They confuse spending with investing. They think all money movement is the same, but it's not. When you spend to escape discomfort, that's weakness. When you spend to increase capability, that's power. The poor spend to look rich. The rich spend to become richer. Every decision the rich make is filtered through a single question. Will this make me stronger in the long run? Think about that. The rich aren't just smarter with their money. They're colder. They treat every dollar as a weapon. They spend it to remove weakness, to buy information, to buy time, to buy control. Meanwhile, the average person spends to numb pain, to feel good, to pretend. It's not about how much money you have. It's about how you use it. And if you think this is about greed, you've missed the point. This isn't about greed. It's about survival in a system designed to reward motion and punish hesitation. Look around. Opportunities don't wait. They move fast. They reward the bold. The moment you stop moving, you become irrelevant. Machiavelli would call that the death of fortune. The moment luck abandons you because you refuse to act. Now, let me ask you something real. How much money have you lost by playing it safe? How many chances have you missed because you were scared to spend? Maybe it was a course you didn't buy, a business you didn't start, a connection you didn't pursue. You told yourself, I can't afford it. But in truth, you couldn't afford not to. Every moment you delay growth, someone else is buying your future with their courage. The powerful understand that every decision you make with money either strengthens your control or weakens it. Every purchase is a vote for the life you want. If you're constantly buying distractions, you're voting for mediocrity. If you're spending on knowledge, tools, and leverage, you're voting for dominance. The rich don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, what will this cost me if I don't do it? That's the forbidden rule. The poor think in price. The rich think in cost. Price is what you pay now. Cost is what you lose later if you don't act. A poor man says, that's too expensive. A rich man says, what will it cost me if I stay the same? That single shift in mindset separates those who grow from those who decay. You might think this sounds ruthless. It is, because the game of wealth is ruthless. The world rewards those who understand motion, leverage, and timing. It punishes those who wait. You've been told patience is a virtue. That's only true for the weak. For the powerful, patience is a weapon. They use it strategically, not passively. They wait only when it increases their odds, not when it protects their fear. So here's the brutal truth. If you're not using your money to buy power, you're being used by someone who is. Every dollar you hoard is working for someone else. While your money sleeps, theirs is awake, compounding, building influence, buying access, creating opportunities. You're saving your money in a bank. That bank is using your money to make themselves richer. You're saving for safety. Inflation is silently robbing you every day. The game isn't fair, but it is learnable. And once you learn it, everything changes. You start seeing spending differently. You stop feeling guilty for investing in yourself. You stop asking for permission to take risks. You realize that every great empire started with a decision that looked reckless to the average person. Machiavelli would say fortune favors the bold, but more accurately, it favors the strategic. The difference between a gambler and a strategist is control. One throws money into chaos, the other directs it with purpose. That's the first step to real wealth. Understanding that spending is not the enemy, ignorance is. The poor lose money because they spend without reason. The rich grow money because they spend with intention. It's not about how much you have, it's about how you use it. Money in motion builds momentum. Momentum builds opportunity. An opportunity, when seized, builds power. So stop worshiping money. Start commanding it. Because if you don't control your money, someone else will control you with theirs.